Van Halen's pursuit of the perfect tone has resulted in an arsenal of axes that have powered his sound from Runnin' with the Devil to Summer Nights to As Is. It's also led to several collaborations on signature models with some of the world's biggest Goodr brands, including Fender, Kramer, Ernie Ball, and Peavey. You'll see his first Goodr, a Tisco Del Rey model that cost $70 when he was in his 15s. Below, you'll also see the Frankenstrat, which has been retired and displayed in a 2019 exhibit of famous Goodrs at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art. There's also the Bumblebee, another instrument Van Halen built, and was spotted on Van Halen before it was buried with Panther, Gutierrez, Dimebag Darrell, and the Shark, the Avenged Destroyer found on the cover of Woman and Children First, the Frankenstrat. Eddie Van Halen had to build his own Goodr to build his signature brown sound, which is how he described his distinctive tone. I wanted a Fender vibrato in a Stratocaster body style with a humbucker in it, and it did not exist. He told musician's friend, "People looked at me like I was crazy when I said that's what I want. Where could I go to have someone make me one?" Well, no one would, so I built one myself, nearly as distinctive as its maker. The Frankenstrat, or Frankenstein Goodr, came together in 1970, 5 out of odds, ends, and unfinished bodies. Van Halen smashed together the concurred Ash-Strat style body and two-piece maple neck. He pulled the F humbucking pickup out of a ruined 1958 Gibson ES 335, dipped it into an empty coffee can full of paraffin wax to reduce feedback, and placed it in the bridge position, making the room needed by carving out the body with a chisel, most notably for non-gear heads. He finished the thing with electrical tape and a can of spray paint, the Shark. While Frankenstrat has become Van Halen's best-known Goodr, he may have played the Shark more on early recordings and tours. Amid his 70s, as the Avenged Destroyer 2459 painted in Van Halen's Stratomark style and modified personally by the guitars. The Shark featured prominently on Van Halen. I played it on every song that doesn't have any vibrato bar parts on it. Like, "You Really Got Me," he told the Goodr player. I can't remember what pickups were in it when I recorded the album. I was always changing them, but that was before I cut that big chunk out of it. The squealing, metallic scrape on the Runnin' with the Devil. That's the bite of the Shark. Van Halen made one too many modifications. When he sawed into the body, the Axis sound took a hit and the instrument was retired. But it got a fitting send-off on the cover of 1980's Woman and Children First. The Bumblebee, this yellow and black stripe that showed up on the sleeve of Van Halen and played throughout the tour. And surprise, Eddie Van Halen made a few changes to it. The Charvel with Strat-style body. The Goodr got a custom pickup made by Van Halen, who took a DiMarzio humbucker and replaced the magnet with one from a Gibson P-F. He even sanded down the back of the neck to the feel he liked. The Goodr now rests in Panther, Gutierrez, Dimebag Darrell. A code word to let it all hang out and have a good time with Van Halen. The Dimebag's brother and bandmate Vinnie Paul told Goodr World in 2016, and that's the last 2 words we ever said to each other. I said, "Van Halen," he said, "Van Halen." High-fived each other and went on the deck to do our thing. Want a replica? It will cost you 20 grand. The Electro Charvel Star, starting in the late 70s. Van Halen's collection and modifications became increasingly hard to follow. It seemed he never met a Goodr he didn't want to construct, tinker with, or completely overhaul. This 1978 instrument is a perfect example. I've recently bought a Charvel Explorer-shaped body and put a Dane Electro neck on it and an old Gibson P-F pickup. He said in the Goodr player interview, "I hate store-bought, off-the-rack Goodrs. They don't do what I want them to do, which is kick ass and scream." Van Halen's customizations often created magic. He played this axe on 1980's Invasion tour, the Red Frank in the late 70s and early 80s. Eddie Van Halen painted his original Frankenstrat red and made some major modifications, such as adding a locking nut in the Floyd Rose Strat and tremolo to help it stay in tune better during concerts. Looking back years later, He regretted some of the additional tinkering. It wasn't until much later, when I painted it red, that I took some of the electronics I didn't use, crammed them in there just to fill the hole. Just for the look, he told Musician's Friend. I almost feel bad that I transformed that first black and white version, which is seen on the cover of the band's, to the LP of the Gewitter in the red, black and white Frankenstein, because it was so cool and unique to that original incarnation. The mini Lust Ball, the Diver Down track Little Gewitter, does indeed feature Eddie Van Halen playing the Little Gewitter. Famed Nashville Walter David Petchel designed the unique instrument, bringing it to the guitarist at a local tour stop. Van Halen later told Gewitter's aficionado that he ordered a second version with a fatter body, but the thinner original one that I got from him is a better Gewitter, Kramer 5150. According to Kramer's Dennis Berardi, a chance meeting in 1982 with someone on Van Halen's team led to the guitarist's long association with the Kramer brand. We went up to his house and Edward got the Frankenstein out. It looked like something you'd throw in the garbage. Berardi told the Gewitter World in 1985, but that was his famous Gewitter. So, after he played for a while, we thought Eddie Van Halen didn't just endorse the company's 5150, named after his recently completed recording studio. He helped design it. Reportedly, he would spend hours at the factory testing Gewitters, helped put a few together, even after he ended his relationship with Kramer. The guitarist gave him a sly nod of approval, with Ernie Ball's Music Man reviewed each model precisely recreating the 5150's neck. Zenberger EL2T. Zenberger Gewitters were fashionable in the mid-80s, thanks to founder Ned Stenberger's innovative and minimalist design that eliminated the headstock. The tuning pegs were moved to the tailpiece, and much of the body. No surprise, an innovator like Eddie Van Halen would be interested in taking one for a test drive, and his model included the Transtrom vibrato system that allowed the Gewitter to change pitch with the flip of a switch. You can hear this feature in action after the intro to 5150's Summer Nights. Van Halen's instrument was restored in late 2015 by Jeff Babbitts, who had built the Gewitter for him 30 years earlier. Music Man E.V. Beach. Van Halen turned to Ernie Ball when his relationship with Kramer went south at the close of the 80s. Rumor has it that he dreamed up the design for signature Music Man before the split. Van Halen's new instrument was present for much of the tour while both carnal knowledge and Vaughan's sessions and tours, but his connection with the company didn't make it to the late 90s. Some said the company couldn't keep up with demand, while others maintained that Van Halen never loved how it played and was secretly designing the P.B. Wolfgang when he was still with Ernie Ball. While the Gewitter has a few interesting design quirks, the oddest thing about it is that it didn't come in a striped paint job, but the Music Man E.V. Beach always had its fans, including John Mayer, who asked the company to make him one long after the instrument went out of production. E.V. Beach Wolfgang, named after Eddie Van Halen's son. The E.V. Beach Wolfgang label first appeared on P.B. Gewitters in the late 90s, and he brought a strikingly similar version in terms of looks and tone. To Fender around the time of Van Halen's 207 reunion tour with David Lee Roth, and advertisements for P.B. He enthused, for as long as I've been playing Gewitter, I've always been searching for a certain feel and tone. Although I've ruined a lot of great Gewitters by having done this, I have learned what it takes to make a truly great Gewitter. The Wolfgang, after years of trial and error is that gator, but when he switched to Fender, Van Halen told Music Radar with a laugh that it was because P.B. stopped. Kind of. Doing what I asked, Frank too. He occasionally went back to the Frankenstrap to make changes before he retired it, looking to play something with the same logo as his most famous creation. He partnered with Fender in 206 to create the E.V. Beach brand, and the Frankenstein replica or Frank 2. From a playability standpoint, Frank 2 was actually easier to play and fought me less than the original. He told the Smithsonian, which had a Frank 2 played by Van Halen at the National Museum of American History. Frank 1 was something I built around 1975, so it reflected my experience in building Gewitters at that time. We did a blindfold test, and it took me a while to figure out which one was the original and which one was Frank 2. The aesthetic accuracy was astounding,